Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Oh, listen. So Donna, if I know you're busy at work. Um, so anytime you want to jump in, just say so and just flash your
I'm
mic.
available at any time.
Really?
I'm available at any time. Listen, I work for myself proudly. I'm my own boss.
All right, all right. Listen, let me do this for just a sec. We're gonna give you a moderator badge. If you would please, would you pin the link to the top of the room, which is
Okay, that
ice
I'll do.
ice10k.com. All right. And so let me scan the room to see who else is in here that I may know. But folks, let me tell you something. If you're interested in just how it is possible to pay off a mortgage in 7 to 9 years, or not just your mortgage, but all of your debt, everything, the average family has 13 different debts, 13 different debts. And so I'm going to put in the chat where we you can watch this on video. It's going to be ice10kvideos.com. Ice10k. I'm putting that in the video in the chat right now. ice10kvideos.com. There you go. And then if you want to see some of our examples, just go to a separate device. You can listen to us on Clubhouse, go to a separate device, like your tablet or your computer, laptop, or whatever. And then you can actually see some of these examples. But I'm telling you, folks, I see Shalonda just came in to the room. All right, all right. Listen, so you want to go to ice10kvideos.com so that you can watch what it is that we're doing on screen. Oh my goodness. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Come on up. The reason why we're so big on this is this reason here. A few years ago, I'm a Matrix fan. I'm a fan of those movies, The Matrix. And I want you to know that if you are using borrowed money in any form, whether it's credit cards or personal loans, HELOCs, personal lines of credit, mortgages, second mortgages, it really doesn't matter. If you are using any type of loan, I want you to ask yourself one question. Have I ever been to a class that helps me to understand how banks make their money with these loans and how I can save money with these loans? Have you ever had a class? It basically, even how they charge all of that interest, how I can have a mortgage at 3%, a $200,000 mortgage at 3% for 30 years, and how they're able to charge me $103,000 in interest. If you've never had a class on how they're able to do that, here's what I want you to here's what I want you to know. I want to ask that question. Have you ever had a class on that? If you've never had a class on that, put no in the chat right now. Put no in the chat if you've never had a class on how to understand amortization. If you've ever had a class on how a bank gets from charging a 3% mortgage, how they get to charge us $103,000 interest on a $200,000 loan, making it in actuality a 51% loan, not 3%, 51%. Okay. Now, also, if you've ever heard this, okay, I want you to put a number 1 in the chat. If you ever heard this, don't pay off a cheap mortgage like a 3% mortgage. Don't pay it off, but take that money and invest it instead. If you've heard that, put a 1 in the chat. All right. And I'm watching. If you've heard, don't pay off your mortgage, put that money instead, because a 3% mortgage is a cheap mortgage. Okay. Listen, you know how many people have heard that? That's crazy. But when you take a look at the math, you see it's not a 3% mortgage, it's a 51% mortgage. Guess what? If it's 4%, all right, we got some people even online putting that in. All right. If it's 4%, guess what? Now you're going to pay back 71% of what you borrowed. Now, I want you to think about this. $100,000 mortgage, $100,000 mortgage at 4% interest, if it's for 30 years, the bank wants you to pay back over $71,000 in interest on $100,000. How is that 4%? At 5%, watch this now. At 5%, the bank wants you to pay back $93,000 on a $100,000 loan. What? At 6%, here we go. At 6%, the bank wants you to pay back $115,000. $115,800. 115.838. $115,838 in interest on a $100,000 loan at 6%. Folks, how in the world is that 6%? That's guess where the interest rates are now? 6%. So here's what I mean by the matrix. In the matrix, in this movie, I'm finding out that that we have, we got RB the realtor just came in. Credit Goddess is in here now. Credit Goddess, how are you doing?
Doing great.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Well, how'd she
RB.
go down? She went down somewhere.
Uh-oh. Did I kick her down? Oh, Lord have mercy.
I think you're probably trying to mod her and then press the other one. Come on back, Credit Goddess.
Come on back. We love you.
I was talking.
Right? Like, not my friend. What's happening?
Listen. I don't need any smoke with your East Coast folks. So
no smoke given.
All right. So, folks, here's what I was talking about with this matrix. That these people thought they were free in the movie. They thought they were free when the machines had taken over. All right, everything, and made them, because the human body creates electricity. They were using human beings to power everything, taking the electricity from human bodies to power everything. All right. And so that's what their role was. But they put them in a situation where they were in a virtual situation where they moved about and thought they were living their life as normal inside a computer program. So in essence, they were batteries. Okay. So here's what I want to tell you, folks. If you've never had a class on how lending works, never had a class on it, but the interest bearing loan, the loan that creates interest for the bank, is the most widely spread banking tool on the planet. Everyone uses it in one form or another, and we've never had a class on it. So, folks, if we've never had a class on how all of that works and we're expected to use it, how in the world can we win this game? If you believe it is impossible to win at this game if you don't know the rules to the game, I need you to put a number 9 in the chat. So I saw some number 1s before. I need you to go ahead and put a number 9 in the chat if you believe it is impossible to win this credit game without knowing the rules. All right, there's 9. Okay, let me see what else. All right, anybody else believe? All right, come on, number 9s. Let me see. Put a number 9 in the chat if you believe it is impossible to win this game without knowing the. Oh, there we go. Here they come. All right. So, folks, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to give an opportunity to talk about that. But while we're getting more people in the room, we have 32 people in the room right now. Please share this room. And I'm going to be able to share with you today on how we can understand how lending actually works, how we can learn the truth of the matter, and how these interest rates, where they are now, we're going to show you how you can win. Not only that, but we're also going to get into today how in the world we can get a savings and earnings report and bypass my consultation fee of $150. We're going to talk about that, all of that today. But that offer ends at midnight tonight. If I don't receive your request and a fully filled out program, a fully filled out application on getting a savings and earnings report, if I don't receive that by midnight tonight, then that offer expires tonight. And let me tell you, you know how they say we found a reason to unexpire it, and we're gonna extend it. I guarantee you, we're not extending this past midnight. Okay, I'm going on record as promising you that this this expires tonight. But before we get started, I want to go ahead and introduce our moderators on the stage right now. And we're going to go from, start with Miss Credit Goddess. Miss Credit Goddess, could you tell us who you are and how fabulous you are?
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I'm at the dog park and I'm working out at the same time. Hey everyone, my name is Rose Laura Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess, all things credit, credit score improvement strategist, business credit consultant, and educator at Be Free University. I'm a credit score improvement strategist. You already know. Yes. So if any of you guys are interested in my services, definitely tap in with me. My number's in my bio. 888-557-5778, and send your name and email address, and you can book your consultation with me. Thank you, Don. You know, I'm always here to support you. And RB, yes, RB, you know, we have a first-time homebuyer event tonight at 7 p.m. Definitely tap in with us. RB will explain more about it. I got to attend to my dog here. But yeah, RB, introduce yourself.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, friend, you out there getting your exercise in. You know, we love that. That is a great way to start your day. I'm super proud, and maybe I need to do a sit-up or two. Join you. So with that being said, my name is RB. I'm a licensed realtor in the state of New York, buy and hold investor on the multifamily residential side, which is 4 units or less, and also a landlord that is operating in long-term and short-term rental space. My passion lies in helping people understand how to create generational wealth through the acquisition of real estate. To that end, like my friend just told you, we do have a first-time homebuyers seminar that is happening this evening at 7 p.m. It is free. It is not state specific. So that's just meaning that we're going to be going through the process with the lender, with myself as a realtor, with Credit Goddess as a credit expert, and also a financial advisor to go through A to Z how you can get started on your home buying journey. And so, you know, hopefully you guys are able to make it out. This evening is not too late to RSVP. All you have to do is go to rb10k.com, or you can either go to my Instagram. I encourage people to go there because when you go to people's Instagram and you click the link that's in their bio, you're able to get all of those hidden gems that are there in their Instagram bios, like podcasts, events that are coming up, coaching, consultation services, and all of that good stuff. So you don't want to miss out on that. So definitely feel free to click the link in my Instagram bio and RSVP for this free event that is happening this evening. It is taking place at 7 p.m. And you do want to get the login information. So I encourage everybody to go ahead on over there and RSVP for that. In addition to that, I have partnered up with Chase Bank and HUD, and we are going to be doing an in-person free event later on in July, which is in that link as well. And that is going to be to give you guys all the information that you need to know on grants that are available for home buyers, as well as the home buying process. And you'll be able to speak to a financial advisor in person, understand how Chase Bank can support you. So there's a lot of different things. Listen, the whole point is just providing you all with information to get started and to feel empowered that you're able to do this, to get into home ownership. And then once you do, then you tap in with Don, and then you go ahead and figure out how you can pay it off early, right? Because you get the home that you want, and then you figure out how to manage that debt in the most efficient way possible. And that would be with the P.I.L.L method. So tap in for tonight. We would love to get you started. I'm here to be of service for all of your real estate buying and selling needs. So if you know anybody that is looking to either buy or sell, even if it is not in the state of New York or Connecticut, I can help you. I do have a team of realtor partners that I work very closely with that are all like-minded, and our goal is to just give back and make sure that our community become stakeholders in the places that they live through ownership. Thank you.
All right, Miss Donna, come on, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, how
Good,
fabulous you are.
good morning, everyone. My name is Donna England. I'm presently located in Canada. I've been doing real estate investment for a couple of years. I own and operate an assisted living facility. I teach people how to if they want to get into the assisted living space, what to do, mentor, coaching them through that journey. I'm also a commercial loan, business purpose loan lender. I'm able to provide you with all your lending needs. You can check my bio for all the other good stuff that's there. Thank you so much. I'm Donna, and I'm done.
All right, folks.
And at this time, just before you go, Don, I'd like for everyone to raise your hand, come up on stage for your questions. If you cannot come up on stage, given your situation, you can put it in the chat. I will read it out to Don. In the meantime, can you share the room? We are at 33 and we only have 13 shares. Don is going to be adding some sauce to his stuff right now. And this is the only room on Clubhouse. This is the only program on Clubhouse that tells you how to cut your interest savings cost and to have your mortgage paid down in 7 to 9 years. So guess what, guys? Can you please share the room, tell other people in the hallway what we're doing inside this mortgage syndicate room. Thank you. Again, I'm Donna, and I'm done speaking.
All right, we have up to 13 shares right now. Oh, up to 15. I mean, it's jumping up there. Thank you so very much for sharing this room. The reason why we share the room, folks, is so it will appear in your hallway and other people can see what's going on, and they'll come in and want to know how in the world they can do all of this. So let's go ahead and start inviting people up. And we have Miss Janice on the stage right now. And let's see, Miss Janice, do you have a question for us this morning?
Oh, no question. I just wanted to say good morning. I was in the room yesterday with you guys, or was it the day before? I'm not for sure. But anyway, I just want to say good morning, and I'm in the process of putting my information and everything in so I can start eliminating the interest on my mortgage with the P.I.L.L method. Thank you, and you'll have a great day. I'll be listening in.
So, Miss Janice, are you going to take advantage? Are you trying to take advantage of the moratorium on my consultation fee?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know that it's finished today. I'm gonna have all my information in by today, definitely. Because
All right.
I was in with the 100 show, your 100 episode.
Wow. Thank you so much. And this is episode number 101. And folks, if you go ahead and follow me right now, you will see that we're closing in on 10,000 followers. 10,000 followers. As soon as we hit 10,000 followers, we're going to be doing another special giveaway when I hit 10,000. So go ahead, follow me, and be in the every time we come into a room. You want to be there because as soon as we hit 10,000, boom, we're going to have something special for everyone. I love giving stuff away. All right. So listen, if you want to see what's going on, if you want to see us streaming online, go to ice10kvideos.com and then go to where you can, that'll take you straight to my YouTube channel. And why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel? And so every time, and click the notification bells. Every time, even if you can't be in here live, we'll always be there on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn simultaneously, even right now. So we're going to, but listen, if you go to our YouTube channel, then a Grant Cardone commercial might start playing. You can wait 5 seconds and then skip them. You tell, and you can just tell Grant Cardone the next time you see him, wherever you see him on the app, tell him, listen, I skipped your commercial so I can listen to Don. I would love for him to know that. All right. So, folks, thank you so very much for coming into the room today. And I'm going to get started. We're going to get started with something very, very special today. A little over a month ago, the P.I.L.L Method put on its very first seminar. It was called, we called it Developing a Spiritual Money Mindset. And we had speakers from all over Clubhouse at that event. It was our first live event, and it was fabulous. It was at a 5-star resort. We had speakers from all over Clubhouse. I mean, top-notch speakers. Jonathan Bing was there, Alicia Cooper Home Loans. Let's see, Jay Massey was there. I mean, a whole bunch of people were there. And not only that, but our keynote speaker was the #1 motivational speaker in the entire planet. Okay. E.T., the hip hop preacher. And he just he just blew everybody away with his presentation, just like he always does. And I've been following him for a long time on his videos on YouTube. And it never occurred to me when I started watching him that I would ever be able to work with him, let alone be able to invite him to my very first seminar. And I'm telling you, folks, I was amazed at one thing that he said, and we caught it on tape. And we're going to turn it into a commercial. I go into the studio this week to take this clip and add something to it. And we're going to make a 90-second commercial for television in my home market of Huntsville, Alabama, and the surrounding areas. But I'm going to give you a sneak peek of this video. And if you want to see it and not just hear it, go to ice10kvideos.com and log in. And you're going to be the very first people to see this particular video. All right. I'm going to give you a few more seconds to get in here. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and have our engineer play that video. And then we're going to get into how to get out of the matrix. All right. You don't want to be in the matrix when it comes to your money. All right. You do not want to be an interest generating machine. That's what we are for the banks. We are interest generating machines. We're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But for now, let's get a sneak peek of this brand new video that we're going to turn into a commercial this week. Go ahead and play it.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to realize something, that I keep a journal and I write down my goals in the journal. And ICE stands for Interest Cancellation Expert. In my journal, I have written there, I will be the interest cancellation expert to the stars. I have it written there interest cancellation expert to the stars. I want you to know the power of writing down your goals, not just keeping it in your head, but writing it down. Little did I know that the first star that we would have on here is one who is a star that talks to, I mean, the NFL invites him in to talk to players. Fortune 100 companies invites this guy in to talk to them. He talks to a Major League Baseball. All the major league teams bring him in. Schools bring him in. Colleges bring him in. Universities bring him in. And just to have my very first star that we have on our program is Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, number one motivational speaker in the entire world. I never could have dreamed how this was going to play out. All you do is write down your goals, folks, concentrate, and things start to happen. Anybody else on stage? Before I get into my first, my first examples here, anybody on stage? Do you know the power of writing down your goals and how this played out for you? Anybody want to talk about that? Nobody? Nobody want to talk about their goals? How they write them down? All right, listen, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started here. And if you have a question, if you have a comment about any of this, raise your hand, get on the stage and ask your question. Make your comment right now. All right, I see.
I have a question in the chat, Don.
Okay.
And there is, I think it's Aries that was asking, Shady Hardy, Shanda Hardy was asking, when you send in an extra payment, do you have to tell the lender to allocate that payment to principal and not interest?
Here we go. Listen, you borrow money. You're borrowing. When you borrow money, you're borrowing what's called the principal. All right, you borrow that. And when your payment agreement says that you have to let the note holder know in writing that you are making a prepayment, that's true. But listen to this. If you are escrowing your taxes and insurance, meaning you're adding your taxes and insurance to your payment, all right? And if you're paying PMI, that would be added to the payment, okay? And then they put that in an escrow account. The reason why you have to tell them that you want this applied to principal, and that's the only way it can be applied, folks. It can only be applied to principal. And then when you do that, you don't pay interest on that amount of money. So when you apply that, so if you tell them, I want this applied to principal, then they won't put it in your escrow account. Those are the only two places. It can either go to principal or it could go to your escrow account. If you are not escrowing, if you don't have an escrow account, some people pay these things on their own, their taxes and insurance on their own. So if you don't have an escrow account, the only place that money can go to is to principal. The money cannot go to interest. All right, let me explain this to you. When you make a full payment to your mortgage, anytime you've made the full payment to the mortgage and your full payment is done, any extra money, even if it's a penny, a dime, or a nickel, any extra money goes to the principal. And that's what it is. Now, what we don't know is what happens when we pay principal. What happens when we pay principal? We know we're saving time. We know we're saving interest. We just don't know how much. And that's what we get into in the P.I.L.L method, teaching people how much we're actually saving with small amounts of money. I hope that answers that question. And if you need to have need some more insight on it, please come to the stage and then we'll tap into that a little bit more. But we first have Miss Natasha on the stage that just came up. Miss Natasha, how are you this morning?
I'm feeling blessed and highly grateful to be here. How are you?
I'm doing fine. And why are you feeling blessed and highly grateful?
just to be hearing about this conversation this morning, someone woke me up and they were like, "Hey, I'm I'm ready to pay for you to go to mortgage school for these 5-day program and learn how to become a loan officer or a mortgage broker." I'm like, really? Okay, let me look into this because I'm a real estate agent and I was going the professional engineering route, but that this would be amazing. It's only 5 days and I can become a
Wow.
mortgage broker. And then I
Wow.
get on the conversation with you guys and you're teaching velocity banking and how to pay off your mortgage in 7 years. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening.
Okay, listen now. I have a book on YouTube on uh, Amazon, and my book is on Amazon. And when you have a book on Amazon, sometimes they will Amazon will say, okay, other people have bought this book in conjunction with your book, Don. And velocity banking is often paired with my book, but my method is not velocity banking. Let me tell you the difference between the two, and then we'll get started with your question. All right. With velocity banking, you're using somebody else's money at a lower interest cost. It could be a higher interest rate. It doesn't really matter. What matters is the interest cost. So if I take some money from a lending source and apply it to another debt and figure out how much interest and then I'm saving interest over here. But the interest cost on the money that I borrowed is less, then the interest saved the interest I'm saving is more. I can then save money and pay the loan off faster. So what they call it in velocity banking is using debt weapons. Okay. So I can use money from a line of credit or even a credit card, apply that money to the mortgage. I figure out how much interest I'm saving and then look at the amount of interest I pay to use somebody else's money. So let me give you an example. If I can use somebody else's money and pay them $100 interest for using their money, but I get to save maybe $5,000 in interest on my mortgage for using that money, would that be a good deal?
So what was the interest rate?
It doesn't matter what the interest rate is, it's the interest cost. The interest cost for using it is $100. That's how much I got to pay them. All right. For using their money. But I'm going to save $5,000 in interest for using their money if I put it to this loan. Would that be a good deal?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So it really doesn't matter what the interest rate is. And I'm going to put something on the screen to show you the difference between interest rate and interest cost. Mr. Tasha, are you able to see my screen this morning?
Yes, I was just looking at your book.
All right.
On Amazon.
So if we go right now to ice10kvideos.com, we're going to be able to see my screen as soon as I get this up. Mama. And my engineers can put this on the screen. They said, well, Don, we can't put it on the screen unless you give it to us. So let me give it to them. All right. And we're going to look at the difference between interest rate and interest cost. Okay.
I'm listening.
All right. So if you want to see it, you can go to ice10kvideos.com and then that will take you to my YouTube channel. And you can just click on the live button there and then wait 5 seconds, bypass the commercial, and you can see what we're doing here. And I am going to pull it up also so I can see it as well, because there's always a little delay between what we're doing here. So I'm going to put that on screen here so I can see it. All right, there we go. And let me, I'm a little behind. Let me do this again so I can see what's going on too. Stay with the whole program. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, skip the commercial. And now I'm into my own show. There we go. All right, folks, here's what we're talking about. All right, so I've got a $200,000 mortgage here at 6%. Okay, $200,000 mortgage at 6%. All right, and we're going to put that in. I also have a credit card. I'm going to put in $2,456 and a penny. All right, $2,456 and a penny. And I'm going to put in 30%. Mr. Tasha, do you want a 30% credit card? You want people to charge you 30% interest on your credit card?
No, sir.
So listen, if you had $2,456 and a penny on a credit card that was 30%, you would definitely want to pay that off, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
All right, now here's what you need to know. All credit cards are amortized over 240 months. And folks, if you want to see what we're talking about here, do what Miss Natasha is doing. Go to ice10kvideos.com and look at this example. It's going to be eye-opening. Okay. So what we've been told is get this thing paid off because the interest at 30% is killing you. And my first question would be, how much interest are you paying in dollars and cents? Okay. How much interest? I had to plug in my computer. How much interest are they charging you in dollars and cents? So let me show you something about this. If you paid this credit card off today at 30% interest, let me show you the interest cost for this month. Interest only is $61.40. What? $61.40. Miss Natasha, did you think it was that little? Are you there?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm on YouTube looking at it while you're explaining it through. No, I didn't think it was just $61.
It's just $61. So if you pay that off, congratulations, you save $61.40 in interest you never have to pay. How about that? But let me show you what this $200,000 mortgage at 6%. Okay, and this is just a $200,000 mortgage. Let me show you what 2,450. See, this is called cumulative principal here. All right, let it catch up. Okay, cumulative principal and cumulative interest. Okay, so right next door. So this is how much interest you would pay in 1 year. Here's how much principal you would pay in 1 year, $2,456 and a penny. Now, that's with all the principal payments added up. And you see the principal payments over here in column 1, starting out at $199.10, and then they stay in the $200 range for 1 year. That's how much money goes to principal. If you add up all the principal for 1 year, you pay that mortgage down by $2,456 and a penny. Are you following me?
Yes, sir. Okay. I am. I see that we would have paid $12,000 over the 240 month span.
Oh no.
Just
no. This is 1 year on a mortgage. You pay $11,000 in interest on the mortgage in 1 year, $12,000 in interest on the mortgage. This is the mortgage now.
If we take out $2,000.
So here's what we're saying. If you see this 245601, that's what we would pay over 12 months. You follow?
2456 over 12 months is $14,774.
Right. So if you add it all together. Now, here's my question. There's $2,456 and a penny. Do you have to pay it to the bank in 12 monthly installments?
You don't have to. You could pay it faster.
If you had it, could you pay it all at one time?
Of course.
All right.
There's a prepayment penalty.
All right.
People have.
All right. So I will talk about that prepayment penalty in a minute. Okay. So if I pay on my credit card, if I pay the credit card off of $2,456 and a penny, How much interest do we save? About what? $61, right?
So that's if you paid it off early, you saved $61.
Right. Now this is now I'm putting on, see, I got two loans here. One loan is the credit card loan. All right. I'm putting that on the screen right now. $2,456 and a penny. That's the credit card loan at 30%. The other loan I'm putting on is a mortgage of $200,000 at 6%. You see that now? Okay, so I'm contrasting two loans. You follow me now?
I do.
Okay.
I am.
Okay, good. All right, now,
Go ahead.
here's what I want you to understand. If I take that money, that $2,456, and pay it off on the credit card, I will save the $61 in interest they want to charge me that month. All right, is that clear? Or
right, but if you pay off the credit card bill before the end of the 30 days,
right,
you don't have to pay interest on that.
I don't. That's the $61.40 in interest. I don't have to pay them, correct?
Right.
Now, I can either do that, but if I have this same mortgage, you tell me, since I can pay them, I can take that money and not give it to the credit card company. What if I gave that money to my mortgage instead and paid off $2,456 and a penny on my mortgage? Would I be paid down to line 12 in 1 month?
Sheesh.
And how much interest would I save? Over $10,944.42. That's how much interest I save if I put the same amount of money on my mortgage. So, do I want to focus on the 30% credit card or the 6% mortgage?
Definitely the 6% mortgage.
Because this is how we've been taught. We've been taught, take care of that 30% credit card because it's killing you. When in reality, it's the mortgage that's killing you. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, now let's break this down. I'm going to show you how we get to that. I'm going to show you how this all happens. So let's take a look at payment number 1. Okay. Our payment is $1,199.10 each month on this mortgage. In payment number 1, how much money goes to principal?
Only $199.10.
How much goes to interest?
Cumulative or
just regular interest?
Regular $1,000.
So Miss Natasha, do you want to give the bank $1,000 interest just so you can pay your mortgage down by by less than $200?
Oh God, no. That's the highway robbery that I'm like. So by the time at the end of the 30-year mortgage, I done paid off about 3-4 mortgages, or the principal. I done bought 3-4 houses just paying off on one house. I don't understand how they could do that.
Is that what you want to do?
Mama, I know, but I want to go to school to learn how to figure out how to give my people good mortgages that they can afford, that they need.
Excellent. So here's my question. Do you know whose course you're going to take to do business purpose loans?
Whose course? Sure.
I'm asking, do you know whose course?
Oh yes. So it's on my other phone.
Okay.
But
when you find out, let me know.
Yes.
Okay. Because I can teach you this part that goes with that so that you can teach your clients how they don't have to keep their loans for 30 years. They can use the same, the same budget that they use to qualify for this loan. They can use the same budget to cut their interest cost, not their interest rate, but their interest cost by about 75%, and pay this off in about 7 to 9 years instead of 30 years to never.
Question.
Yes.
Are you a mortgage broker?
No, I am a business purpose lender.
Nice.
Yes,
Okay.
I took the same course. I want to know which one you're taking. So, because I don't want to speak out of turn. So you let me know which one you're taking, and I'll let you know how I can help you with that one. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So listen, here's what we're talking about. How would you like to be able to teach your clients what I'm getting ready to teach you right now? Watch this. So if we start, let's say we start out in January making this payment. Okay. And can you see February's principal payment, Mr. Tasha?
Yes, sir.
How much is it?
Is that the one highlighted?
Mm-mm. I'm only talking about the principal payment for February, line 2.
Okay.
How much is
The
that?
principal payment is $210.
Okay, so here's what I'm asking you. If you make your payment in January and you can see the amortization schedule and you know that in February you got to pay $200.10 towards principal, do you have to wait till February to give the bank that $200.10?
No,
If you had it, could you give it to them in January?
of course.
And
It's $1.
here's the key. All of this money goes to principal. None of it goes to interest. So you're actually paid down to line 2 on your amortization schedule, where you owe $199,600.80. That's where you are in January if you give the bank that $200.10 early. Now, your next mortgage payment for February is now on line 3 of the schedule. Did you know a mortgage worked like that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what just happened? You eliminated line 2 from your mortgage payment, from your mortgage schedule for only $200.10, not the $1,200 the bank was expecting. Correct?
Right.
What happened to the $999 in interest on line 2? What happened to that?
Disappeared.
It most certainly did. You canceled it. You never have to pay it. So if most people knew that they could get rid of nearly $1,000 in interest that they never have to pay by giving the bank $200 that they were going to give them anyway, but they gave it to them early, would more people take advantage of this?
Of course.
Of course. So if that's the case, let's do this. Let's take one other step. Let's make the mortgage payment in January. You follow? And now we're going to attack this loan. See, we attack the loan only with principal payments. Interest payments, we skip those. We don't even count those in this calculation. So we're going to pay our mortgage in January. We're going to take a look at our schedule, and we're going to give the bank extra money, $200.10 from line 2, $201.10 from line 3, and $202.10. That's a total of $603.30. Could we, if we had it, give the bank that $600.30 on top of our regular mortgage payment?
Yes, sir.
And if we did, what would happen to all the interest payments on line 2, 3, and 4?
Vanish.
And our next mortgage payment for February is on what line of this schedule?
For February,
Yep.
we're down in the line 5.
Exactly. All right. Exactly. That's what happens. How about that? So, what do you think about that?
No.
That is magic.
So,
Creating magic.
now remember, let's go to cumulative principal and cumulative interest, and we'll be all done. Remember the 2456 that we talked about? Paying off the credit card would only save us about $60 in interest. But taking that same amount of money and putting it on this mortgage, we would save all the interest between line 2 and line 12 would be canceled if we pay that up front. That is a total interest savings of $10,944.42.
Wow.
So, folks,
This
go ahead and
tool
comment.
that I was telling you about was the Affinity Real Estate and Mortgage Service.
Okay, I'm not familiar with them. But once you're done with their class, okay? Once you're done with their class, now let me ask you something. If I'm going to, can I make a recommendation to you?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna make a recommendation. Okay. I,
Yeah.
This is a learning how to become a business purpose loan broker, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a desire to be a residential loan broker as well, an MLO, mortgage loan originator, where you could sell mortgages for real estate people to live in, owner occupied real estate?
Yeah, that's the license I'm getting, the MLO.
That's the license you're getting? Okay. Did you know there is that you can also, without a license, lend money without a license to people who just do real estate investing without a license? Millions of dollars?
My mentor does that.
Ooh.
He's a hard money lender.
All right. Well, I'm associated with a new course here on Clubhouse that's doing that, and they're combining the MLO and the business purpose lending. So, listen, if you want to know more about that, hit me up on the back channel. I'll be glad to share that with you. But anyway, do you have any more questions about this today? Ms. Natasha, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
Hey, King. Yes, I am getting my baby situated with some food.
Okay.
What was your question?
My question is, do you have any other questions for us today?
I'm just here to listen and soak up all the knowledge. Thank you so much for everything that you're sharing with us.
And listen, make sure once you're through with that course, hit me up on the back channel, follow me, and then we can get you more information on how you can share this information with your clients. And here's some of the other things you'll be able to teach them. How a higher interest rate is actually better than a lower interest rate when it comes to a mortgage. Never, ever put a large down payment on a loan. Never put more as a down payment on a loan than you have to. And never get anything less than a 30-year mortgage. Those are just some of the things you're going to be able to learn, how you're going to be able to help your clients win in this real estate game. And you can be their shero for helping them not make huge mistakes and save them hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest they don't have to pay.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Thank you so much. Miss Shonda, how are you doing today? Rashonda, are you still with us?
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? I'm doing well. And you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
All right. So we got 2 more hands raised to bring people up on stage. Let's get them up here. But while we're doing that,
Taking care of that.
all right,
Yeah,
excellent.
I
So,
took care of that.
all right, thank you. Ms. Shonda, how can we help you this morning?
Yes, so I was the one who asked the question about um, having your extra payment allocated towards principal versus interest. So thank you for answering that question. I actually just signed a contract on a home. I, of course, was approved for a mortgage with no PMI, and I don't have to have any monies escrowed in. I pay my taxes and insurance on my own. And so,
Excellent.
and I don't have any other debt. So this will be my only debt except for credit cards that I have, of course. So if I make an extra payment every month, then that will basically slash my upcoming payments. So should I be aiming to make an extra full payment, or should it be just based on the amortization schedule?
That is a very good question. So when it comes down to, so now we're going to see, how do we get out of the matrix? How we get out of the matrix is to know the truth about lending. And so when we're saving money, do you want to save some money, or do you want to save the most amount of money you possibly can?
The most, of course.
So do you think it would be important to know how much money to put down on your mortgage and when?
Of course.
All right. So it matters how much you put down and when you put it down, so you can increase the amount of interest you save per dollar. Would you like to go over a few examples of how you can understand we're optimizing interest savings, not just willy-nilly throwing money at the debt? And let me tell you something right now. You do not have to put extra money on your debt every single month. Okay.
Sure.
So by that is using a spreadsheet method. So let me give you an example of a spreadsheet. And I've had people bring their spreadsheets. I live in Huntsville, Alabama. And in Huntsville, guess what? I mean, this is Rocket City. I mean, the military is here. NASA is here. Space Force is here. There are more engineers in Huntsville than any per capita than any other place in the world. And when people see my commercials on TV here in Huntsville, they come into the office, and if they're an engineer, they have their spreadsheets. And with their spreadsheets, they've got to say, listen, if I put this amount of money down every single month, I will be out of debt here. What are you doing that's better than this? And I'm saying, oh, so you're saying if you get out of debt here, you could be out of debt in 15 years by doing this? Though that whatever extra money that is, that's 180 months. You'll have to put that money down every single month, not missing 1 month to make that happen. What's the likelihood, Mr. or Mrs. Engineer, that you'll be able to put that money down every single month, not missing a month? 108. That's 15 straight years putting extra money on the debt every month. So are you taking into account, like roof damage, and you got to get that fixed? Are you taking into account that there could something go wrong that you need to fix in the house, like a hot water heater? Oh, maybe you have to fly the whole family across country to say goodbye to Aunt Mabel at the last minute. Are you taking those things into account? So how likely is it you'll be able to put down for 180 straight months, that's 15 straight years, that kind of money, and not miss 1 month? Not only that, but you're going to miss several months. And you know what? They have to agree that they're going to miss some months. So what you don't want is a spreadsheet, because spreadsheets blow up as soon as you run into a difficulty. Would you tend to agree?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what we need is a dynamic program, something like a GPS for your money. And if you have a GPS for your car and you run into a detour, or you get off course somehow, does your GPS recalculate for you?
Yes, it does.
And get you back on course?
It does.
That's what you want for your money. You want a program that does that, not a spreadsheet. because spreadsheets blow up. Okay. And so now just think about this. So now once you do that and you're using your spreadsheet, the months that you take off because you need to regroup, let's say you take 2 or 3 months off, you start back where you left off, putting that amount of money each month. You do not make up for the months you've lost. A GPS unit, though, says you're off course. Let's see how we can get you back on course and get you back to get you as close as we possibly can to your original destination and timing. That's what GPS does for you, where a spreadsheet doesn't. So that's kind of where we come in to do that. Okay. So that's going to be the first thing. So now with that in mind, how can we answer? Give me a question that I can answer with that in mind.
Can you repeat that? I didn't quite understand.
Okay, so do you have a question for us? So that I just want to give you some background. Could you re-ask your question? I just want to give some background to it.
So basically, I was asking, should I just make extra payments every month in order to save up on my mortgage, or should it be done a different way?
There you go. Now with that background, watch this. Are you able to see my examples on screen?
I'm on my phone.
Okay.
So
Are you near a tablet or iPad or computer?
I can get to one.
Okay, I can actually show you this, and then if you can't see it right now, you can always watch it on the replay. Okay, because I'm going to answer that question for you in this way. I've got a $200,000. I'm going to keep this same mortgage on here, $200,000 mortgage, and I just showed Miss Natasha that if she takes the money and prepays it to her mortgage, she's going to save almost $11,000 in interest instead of taking that same money and paying off a 30% credit card where she's only going to save about $60 in interest by paying off $2,456 and a penny. I showed her how you're going to save way more interest on the mortgage. If you want to see this, folks, we have 15 people watching us online right now. If you want to see what we're doing here, please go to ice10kvideos.com on your secondary device, and you can watch this on YouTube. And go ahead and click subscribe and that notification bell while you're there so that you can always know when we are putting up a new video. And this is show number 101 on how to pay off mortgages in 7 years. Okay. So Ms. Shonda, so are you in a position where you can see us now?
I'm logging on right now.
Okay, great. So while you're getting that ready, I'm going to set this thing up for you. All right. So once you get to ice10kvideos.com, that'll take you to our YouTube channel. Click on the button that says live. Then in 5 seconds, you can bypass the commercial and you can see what we're doing here. So we're focusing, folks, on cumulative principal and cumulative interest. By the way, we have 24 shares in the room right now. We have up to 50 people in here right now. So go ahead and share your information. And before we get in here, and I see Miss Sue here, I saw her earlier today in another room today. Good to see you, Sue. And let me see here. Miss Adrian, listen, driving to where she's driving. While we're getting set up, Miss Adrian, we want, as a moderator, would you go ahead and tell us who you are and how fabulous you are? And so we can go ahead and get this other thing set up.
Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, I'm driving from Atlanta to Indiana. Everybody, I'm Adrian Wells. I live in Atlanta. I'm originally from Gary, Indiana. I'm going back home this morning so that I can catch back up with the contractors. But ladies and gentlemen, I provide housing for celebrities, athletes, and corporate clients in Atlanta. My world is short term space. I've been in real estate for 34 years. So I flip. We were talking about development. I see Sue is on here this morning. And so I'm now getting into the development space. So all of the things she was sharing, those are the things that I'm doing. So it's wonderful. But I'm in Gary, Indiana right now, changing the narrative. And I'm on this call because I hear ICE every Sunday on our other call. And I'm like, you know what? All these houses that I'm flipping, these buildings I'm going to start to get involved, I'm going to really, really pay attention to this, save money like he's encouraging all of you all to save money. And I'm going to really get this down pat because I want to learn how to take 7 years off my mortgages. All right. So that's why I'm here. And I thank you so much for bringing me up on the stage. And I cannot wait to learn and grow with you in this room. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, thank you, Miss Adrian, for tapping in with us. And so, listen, Miss Adrian, I shared with the people of at the top of the show that I keep a journal, and I've written down in the journal that I wanted to be the interest cancellation expert, or ICE. I wanted to be the interest cancellation expert to the stars. And about 2 months ago, I held my very first seminar in Nashville, Tennessee, and E.T., the hip hop preacher, Dr. Eric Thomas, was our keynote speaker. All right. I was able to bring him in. And this is what he had to say while Miss Shonda is getting set up. We've got about a 51-second clip here that I'm going to turn into a commercial next week. But here's what Eric Thomas had to say about our program. Go ahead and play it.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down from my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
All right, Miss Adrian, I hope you were able to hear that. And so it's been.
I was. And you know what? I want to be your next testimony because I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to tell everybody who is a celebrity, listen, because you know what? That will really help them. I don't want to get off of your topic, but that will help them. You know how many of them travel from city to city for a movie, for getting ready for their concert or whatever, and they're still paying their mortgage back where they live. DJ Eddie, if I was on the phone, and he doesn't mind if I mention his name. I don't know if you remember Heavy D and the Boys,
Yes.
but DJ Eddie F and Heavy D. So he's my really close friend. We were talking yesterday. He's like, I want to do short-term rental because I don't want to have to worry about my mortgage. And I'm going to tell him, I'm going to call him as soon as I get off off Clubhouse and tell him he needs to think about this too, because he's really into this. And I'm just thinking all the celebrities, not just celebrities, but all the people you can help because they travel so much. They're paying that mortgage note every month. Everybody. Yes, this is it. This is the truth right here. I want to be one of your testimonies. I can't wait until I can be on there and say the same thing as ET did.
Exactly, Adrian. I'm going to send you that clip so that you can see it. We're going to actually turn that into a commercial next week. But we were floored to hear that he used it. And when you see the whole clip, I'm going to actually send you both. I'm going to send you the whole clip. This is an edited version because he actually uses a person's name in here that I taught this to, and that taught it to him. And then he says right there in our seminar that guy took the credit for this information.
I remember you saying that but you know what? That's just kudos to you because people admire and are so amazed at results that you're able to bring to the table, that they want to take it, revamp it, put a little bow on it, and share what it gives you the glory. It's of what you're teaching that they want to show somebody else. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? And it's because it comes full circle, because this is, hey, I want to tell you that this is my, I want to tell you that. So it's a beautiful thing that people that much of your program and what you're able to do. Money.
The Matrix has you, Miss Adrian.
Oh, all right.
Not yet. But
Okay.
we need you to tap back in to finish
Okay.
what you were
I'll
saying.
come back.
Thank
Okay.
you. All right. All right, Ms. Shonda. All right. So hopefully you are here now where you can see our example, and we're going to go over why it is important to come up with the right amount of money at the right time, as opposed to just paying any amount of money at any time. Ms. Shonda, are you watching us on screen?
I am.
All right. So we have a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. And what now, for those of you who are interested, this works for multi-million-dollar properties, whether you are a real estate investor or you have what's called a jumbo loan. Okay. So it really doesn't matter. If you can afford the payment, you can save interest on these loans with your current budget. You don't need more money. You just need to save more interest. So let me show you what we've got here going on, Ms. Shonda. So where you were able to see, or at least hear, that if on this very first payment, if we pay $1,199.10, $199.10 goes to principal and $1,000 goes to interest. Do you remember that?
I see that.
Okay. And so the next month, $200.10 goes to principal and $999 goes to interest. And here's what we were saying. If we pay this mortgage like the bank wants us to, pay payment number one, then if we can see the schedule, then we can see February's principal payment. And what we were saying earlier is that you don't have to wait till February to give the bank that $200.10, correct?
Correct.
If we paid that early, let's say we paid that in January as well. We paid our first payment in January and then gave the bank $200.10, the same amount of principal that we would given them on line two. If you want to see this, go to ice10klive.com and you'll be able to check in on this and take a look at this as well. If we prepay this, then we eliminate line two from our schedule. We're already paid down to the principal balance on line two, which would be $199,600.80. Our next mortgage payment for February is actually on line three, where we're paying $201.10 and $998 for $200.10. We just eliminated line two from our mortgage schedule. Gone. And we just saved $999 in interest that we never have to pay. Now, here's what we're going to do for you. So let's just say now, we could prepay any amount that we want, but I'm only going to give you two choices here. I'm going to put on the screen where you could see line 12 on our amortization schedule and line 24. And we're going to take a look at cumulative principal. That would be column 3 and column 4 as cumulative interest. So in 12 months, the bank wants us to pay this loan down by $2,456 and a penny. And how much interest do they want us to pay in 12 months? Ms. Shonda?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Okay.
$11,933.19.
So let me ask you, do you think nearly $12,000 is too much interest to pay to gain $2,456 and a penny in equity?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So if we prepay this, so do we have to pay the bank $24.5601 in 12 monthly installments? Or if we had it, could we give it to the bank in one installment?
In one installment.
If we did, we'd be paid down to here in 1 month, wouldn't we? Down to line 12.
Yes.
And we would knock out all of these payments in 1 month and save this interest, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
All right. Now, since now that we could see that, let's take a look at, I'm only going to give you a choice. Now you can prepay any amount that you want. And the reason why I say that is because I pick up pennies in the parking lot.
So do I.
All right. Every penny helps. So even a penny, an extra penny on this mortgage given in the first year would save about 7 cents in interest. Did you realize that? Every penny saves about 7 cents in interest you don't have to pay. I love that, knowing that. So now let's just say I'm only giving you two choices. You can prepay the $24.56 on line 12, or line 24, you can prepay $5,063.50 and knock out 24 payments and save the interest about 23 grand. So which would you choose, line 12 or line 24, if you had plenty of money in the bank?
I mean, if I had plenty of money, I would want to pay as much as I can.
Okay.
However,
go ahead.
I would probably pay it, and I'd probably just pay that the whole 24 if I had it.
Okay, if you had it. Okay, and why would you do that?
To save $23,000.
You're cracking me up. See, when you know how much interest you can save, it changes the whole picture, doesn't it?
Of course.
Watch this now. Now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. I'm going to tell a little story, and then we're going to get back into this. Now, some people have heard this story before. Some of this is new. So every now and then, my wife makes zucchini bread. And we had dinner out of our house yesterday, and a few people came over, and one lady brought vegetables from her garden. And guess what was in there? Some zucchinis. So my wife is going to make zucchini bread with it. So when she does that, she puts in golden raisins. So one Sunday, she's mixing up the batter for heating up the oven and grating the zucchinis and stuff, and just, getting ready to do the zucchini bread. And she looks into the pantry. And guess what, Miss Shonda?
No golden raisins.
No golden raisins. So who gets to go to the store?
You, of course.
Why is that of course?
She's doing all the hard work baking. You can go get the golden raisins.
Well, nobody ever gets that wrong. And you're right. So she sends me to the store. So she says, bring me back 2 boxes. So as I'm going to the store to get the 2 boxes of raisins, all right, I get there and I find out that the raisins come in 2 different size boxes. There's a 12-ounce box and there's an 18-ounce box. 2 different prices. How do I know which one is the best value?
You look at the price per unit.
Exactly. So now I'm looking at the unit price. And since I don't want to do the math, I could just take a look and see on the shelf. And I just found out that, these raisins over here cost 6 cents an ounce, but these raisins over here cost 3 cents an ounce. Do I want to pay 6 cents an ounce for raisins when I could get them at 3?
Of course, you want to take the cheaper price if you're going to be using them all before the expiration date.
There you go. And she uses them up, believe me. So do you realize that once we put this money on the mortgage and we can see how much interest we're saving, if we did a little math, we can get the unit price. We can sit and see how much interest we're saving per dollar. How about that? So let's put that on the screen. And if you want to, you can check me. You can pull up your own calculator. And I'm going to pull up my calculator on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're going to see, we're going to take a look at the amount of interest we could save if we prepay the $24.5601. We're going to save $11,933.19. So I'm going to put that money in. I'm going to put into my calculator $11,933.19. So that's the interest savings. So, Ms. Shonda, if I prepay the 245601 and I save that money, that means if I divide the 11933 by the 245601, will that tell me my unit cost or how much interest I'm saving per dollar? Will that?
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and click on divide. Okay. So we're going to divide 2456.01, and that equals $4.85. So we just found out for every dollar I'm saving $4.85 per dollar. Isn't that good to know?
Sure.
So listen, if you gave me $1 and I gave you back $4.85 for every dollar you gave me, how often would you do that?
All the time.
The bank has to do the same thing. And that's what we need to narrow this thing down to. How much I want to make sure every single penny I have is working. So if I know that I can make my dollar save me $4.85, do I want to save less per dollar? Let's do the yeah. So let's do line 24 now, where we're looking at, we're going to remember $4.85. So now we're going to clear this out. We're going to put into our calculator line 24, 23,714.90. And we're going to divide that by $5,063.50. Right? And when we click on, okay, so we were at 485. How much are we saving now in interest when it pops up on the screen? How much are we saving now?
That's $4.68.
So we're saving less per dollar, aren't we?
Yes.
So if I can save $4.85 per dollar, do I want to accept $4.68?
Of course not.
So it matters when we put money on and how much we pay to optimize. So what this was a quick lesson in CPA, what we call critical point analysis. What is the least amount of money I can pay to save the most amount of interest I possibly can? How about that? So we have a computer system that is that does all of the work for us. It's called our opportunity cost calculator. It is a cloud-based computing system that we can put all of our numbers in, that does all of the math, that tells you how much money to move, what month to move it in, what day of the month to move it on. And what we do for our clients is we do what's called a savings and earnings report, so that they can all know the month, day, and year they're debt free and how much interest they could save. And then if they want our system, we show them how to get the system so that that our system can guide them step by step on how to save the most amount of interest. And the more interest you save, how about that? The faster you get out of debt. So it's not how fast you get out of debt, it's how cheaply you get out of debt. Cheap equates to fast. So you pay a lot less interest, you get out of debt faster with your current budget. You don't need more money, you just need to pay less interest. What do you think, Ms. Shonda?
That's awesome. Now, is that over time or is that a one-time thing?
What's that?
So, say when you first sign up, you have only this amount of debt, but say 6 months down the line, you buy a car also. So, is this available over a period of time, or is it that one time when you first come and get your consultation, or you pay for the program?
Very good question. Well, you do have to add another mortgage to it, but guess what? Let me tell you this story. We have a client that in 2008 paid off, that I met in 2008, just out of college, paid off their first mortgage in 6.5 years on our program, and then all of their student loans the next year. So they were completely debt free at that point. They used the same program to pay off their second mortgage, and then their third mortgage, which will be paid off next year. They're still using the same program, and they paid for it once. How does that sound to you? So the same program can be used over and over again because it's a lifetime program.
And that was my question. Thank you. That sounds awesome.
There you go. All right, folks. So, Ms. Shonda, are you complete?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Donna. Okay, go ahead.
So you were saying that they put in not only their mortgage payment, but this is also applicable to any other payments, like for car notes or whatever other loans. You can use the same system.
If it carries interest, you want it in this system. That is correct.
All right, great. Thank you very much. I am complete.
Thank you so much for bringing your question to the stage. Miss Donna, you tapped in.
Yes, thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Shanda, for sharing with us. We have a question in the chat, but before we go talk about the question in the chat, can you click on the Don's picture, the P.I.L.L method up top? There, person's asking. You click on his 10K card, and you can go into all of everything that he's talking about. You can go into the videos. You can get your interest and savings report inside his card. Just click on the link above, and you can get into all the live programs and everything. At this time, as 27 persons have shared the room, can you share the room some more for us, please? Tell other people in the hallway so they can come in and learn about saving on their interest cost on their loans, whatever loans they have, whether it be a mortgage, a car loan, or credit card loans. Once it's a loan, we have a solution in this room for them. Now, I have a question from Kevin. It says, does this strategy apply to any loan, like a car loan, or only a mortgage loan?
And that is a very good question. And it applies to all loans. So, but you want to make sure you're paying them off in the right time and in the right sequence. Because if you attack the wrong loan at the wrong time, you're going to pay more interest than you need to. I had a phone call not long ago from a gentleman from Arizona, and he makes good money out there because guess what? He's a sales manager for solar panels. So they're killing it out there. All right. So he says, I have plenty of money. And as his Tesla was driving him down the road, and he was talking to me and watching us on the screen. Yes, he was watching us while his Tesla was driving him down the road. So he said, you know what? I was watching this guy in Tennessee, and he talked about the debt snowball. And so I'm making all this money and I have this money in the bank. So I said, why am I carrying all this debt? So he takes $40,000 out of the bank and just pays off the rest of his Tesla, just pays it off. All right. And then he said, now the $700 I'm no longer paying a month on the Tesla. I'm now adding that to my mortgage payment every month. And I said, well, that's what the experts are teaching. Why are you calling me? Right. And so when he said that, so when I said that, he said, so when I asked him that, he said, well, because I saw some of your videos online and now I'm wondering if I did the wrong thing. I said, now here's what I asked him. By paying off the Tesla, how much interest did you save? His answer was, I don't know. Let's figure it out. Because folks, here's the thing. Keep this in mind. If all of your loans were 0% interest, is there any financial advantage to paying a loan off early at 0% interest? The answer is no. So we don't pay off loans faster to get rid of the principal. We pay loans off faster to save on the interest. So we need a plan that saves us the maximum amount of interest that's mathematically possible for each one of us. That's where we're going. That's how we get out of the matrix. That's how we get out of becoming interest generating machines, because that's what we contribute to the financial matrix. Individuals, businesses, churches, doesn't matter. If you borrow money, you are part of the interest generating machine, and banks want to lend money for as much as they can for as long as they can. Now, am I anti-bank? No, I am certainly not. I love borrowing money. I love borrowing money at a discount, though. I don't want to pay retail for my money. So here's what we're talking about. So I showed him, I said, let's put it into a calculator and see how much interest you saved. So we found out that he saved about $7,700 in interest by paying off the car. Great. But he has a $500,000 mortgage, okay, at 4% at the time. So I'm going to put that on the screen. All right. Let me see here. We're going to open this up, put this on, and we did $400,000 at 4%, 30 years. And now we're going to go down. As soon as that comes up on the screen, we'll be able to show you what's going on with his mortgage instead of, because he saw the video and he's wondering, man, oh man, what am I doing here? And for some reason, my there we go. All right, $400,000. Okay. And at 4%, we've got a payment of $1,909.66. We're going to go down to cumulative principal of $40,000. We're scrolling down to about $40,000. And that takes us down to about line 63 on our amortization schedule. Folks, that's 5 years and 3 months. And do you see how much interest we're talking about? Not saving $7,700 in interest, but if he had placed that same $40,000 on his mortgage, he would have saved $79,000. So here's what we've been taught to get out of debt. Anything you do to get out of debt is as good as any other thing you can do to get out of debt. And that's not true, because that $40,000, this is a lesson in opportunity cost. So when you spend that $40,000 to save $7,000, you can't also spend the same $40,000 again. It's gone. And what did you choose to buy? $7,000 worth of interest savings when you could have bought $79,000 worth of interest savings. By doing what he did, he actually, even though he paid his car off instantly, he's actually going to be in debt longer because he did it that way, because he's going to pay more interest. That's what we're talking about here. All right. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. Miss Donna.
Our next person is Michael. He came up on stage.
All right. And
Michael, do you have a question?
Well, wait a second. I see Miss Kenyatta here because I'm watching my screen and I got Miss Kenyatta here. Let's put a moderator badge on her. Miss Kenyatta, how are you this morning?
I am grand. Hello, family. Hello, everyone.
All right. So
hello, Kenyatta.
So Miss Kenyatta, we're gonna get you to introduce yourself. Uh-oh, what happened to our guy?
He's there. Michael is still there.
Michael's still there?
Yeah,
oh, hey,
is.
All right. Hey, Michael, how are you this morning?
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Donna. Oh, okay, there we go.
There you
Thank
go.
you so much. So I learned this strategy in Atlanta, get access to her.
And, oh my gosh. I'm so glad you're tapping in.
Yeah, I have your book, and I have, I watch your videos, and I counsel my clients because, as you know, I was at the Get Access tour, so I lend money for real estate, and when they talk about the interest rates, I feel really good by saying, listen, higher the interest rate, lower the principal. You could pay this loan off in half the time, even with a higher interest rate. So I'm just saying this for the people who are actually in the room and who are in financing that have clients that they could counsel, and it works, and it's powerful information. And I just want to say thank you.
Michael, you are so welcome. And thank you for your input this morning. That brings tremendous value for those who are seeing this for even the first or second time, because the more you see it, the more you understand the truth of the matter is the whole system is set up because of the lack of education. We pay a lot more interest. And everything we've been taught to do to get out of debt actually keeps us in debt longer because we're not paying attention to interest cost. When we only pay attention to interest rate, we make huge mistakes, and it's a huge windfall for the bank when we don't pay attention to cutting interest cost. Michael, thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Miss Israel, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Could you pronounce your first name for us?
Balathia.
Balathia. All right, Balathia. Do you mind if I call you Balathia?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Miss Balathia, what can we do for you this morning?
I was just trying to figure this all out. This is the first time I've been on your page, and I'm basically trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Okay. Are you able to see? Are you able to see our screen?
Yes.
Okay. You want me to take you step by step?
Yes.
All right. Now, what you want to do is stay off mic when I start asking you questions, and then I'll take you step by step, and you can help me. And by you helping me, you'll be able to understand it better. But before we get into that, I need Miss Kenyatta to tell us who she is, what she does, and how fabulous she is. Miss Kenyatta, come on in here.
Thank you so much, Don. It's always a pleasure to be here. Good morning, good people. My name is Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And I am the official lender of the house, the P.I.L.L Method House. Go ahead and follow and share this room, because here you can find ways and opportunities for you to find deals, finance that deal, cancel the interest on that deal, and get you in yet another deal. Everything that you'll ever need is right here, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want to go ahead and click on the link above and find that button that says Get a Savings and Earnings Report. All the things that we were talking about this morning, you can find out for yourself. The month, day, and year, you could be debt free. You can then click on that button and then follow all of the instructions. And then somebody from my staff will give you a call and then let you know the month, day, and year you're going to be debt free and how much interest you can save. And because we recorded our 100th show on Friday, Kenyatta, we have a special giveaway that we started on Friday that ends at midnight tonight.
Tell me all about it.
All right. Our consultation fee is $150. I'm waiving the consultation fee until midnight tonight. If we receive your request for the savings and earnings report before midnight tonight, we will waive the $150 fee for consultation. And I guarantee you, this is not just a marketing ploy, and then we're going to find a way to continue to waive the fee after midnight tonight. Please don't let it come in at 12:01. I guarantee you that offer will not be honored. Okay, so get it all done. Get it to us before midnight tonight. And we'll take it before midnight tonight in your zone, wherever your time zone is. not just Central Time. Okay, whatever your time zone is, if you're done before midnight tonight, we'll accept it and we'll waive the fee. Miss Kenyatta, what do you think about that?
Any opportunity to get this information and help people, I'm with it, Don, because I don't know if everybody knows this, but this is exactly what you should be doing to combat the inflation. So I'm stoked about it. That's awesome.
All right. So Belethia. Let's get into this. Go ahead and let's see about how we can save some money. I'm going to go back to my $200,000 mortgage here. Okay, and let me know. I'm looking at the screen as well. I'm switching over here, and I've seen the 400,000, and we're switching over. Okay, and now we're here. You should see the $200,000 mortgage at 6%. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'll forget before I forget. I forgot to let people know that there is a code. Oh, how could I forget the coupon code? It's ICE 100. So when you're putting in your information, put in ICE 100. If you've already submitted your information and I didn't tell you the code, then hit me up on the back channel. Says I've already submitted my information, but Don, because you were talking so fast, you didn't give me the code, and I want to make sure I get to take advantage of it. Put in that you send in your information and put in ICE 100 for your coupon code. So don't forget. All right. When you're filling out your information for your financial information, and it asks you who referred you, click other, and then put in ICE 100. ICE 100. That is the code. And I'm so sorry I forgot to tell you that. Okay. So now back to Miss Belethia. She's going to help us here. Now, I need you to see a couple of things. That we have a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. Our payment is $1199.10. I'm scrolling down to the summary. And as we scroll down to the summary, I need you to take a look and see what how much interest the bank wants us to pay on this loan. It's on the left side. It's on your screen right now. Total interest paid. How much does the bank want?
Interest 1,000. The first line.
Nope.
You saying?
Just in the summary. Total interest paid. In the summary, right in the middle.
Oh, in the summary.
Okay. The last thing on the left side in the summary. Total interest paid.
I said 200,000. $31,670.
Do you think that's too much interest to pay on a $200,000 loan?
Yes.
And again,
in the house.
Does that sound like 6% interest to you?
No.
If you look
more than the house.
If you look over to the right-hand side, and you will see total interest paid as a percentage of the principal. What's that number?
115.838.
So listen, why are they calling it 6% when it's actually 115%?
Right.
Wow. So you're saying you don't want to buy one house for you and one house for the bank.
Right.
Miss Belethia, you shock me. We're upset with you. You don't want to buy a house for the bank.
I don't.
No. Okay. Let's see what we could do here. So I'm going to take you through this and you're going to help me. Now we're down to payment number 1. Okay.
Okay.
Payment number 1. We're looking at that. And on the very first payment of $1,199.10, how much goes to principal?
Oh, the first line? $199.10.
That is called mortgage payment. I need everybody to understand this. Okay. The second column, the interest payment, that mortgage payment only refers to money that you borrowed. That's your mortgage, money that you borrow that you pay back. Okay. That's your mortgage. The interest column is not mortgage payment because you didn't borrow that money. You're paying off your mortgage here with $200 payments in the principal payment. Look at that. That's the mortgage payment.
Right.
And how much interest do they want you to pay the first month?
$1,000.
Well, listen, when you pay that payment, $199.10 is subtracted from what you owe. And therefore, you owe less money now. And so your interest cost goes down on the very next line. So your interest cost on line 2 goes all the way down to what?
It went down to $9,900.
So listen, do you want to pay $9.99 in interest?
No.
No. So listen, it didn't go down very far at all. We reduced the interest cost by $1. Wow, wow, wow. So listen, would you, for those of you who want to get out of the matrix, okay? Now, I wasn't going to do this because I don't know if Credit Goddess is here. Credit Goddess, are you available, Rosalora? Because she's always talking to clients, and she was out at the park and everything with her doggy. Miss Rose, are you there? Because she taught me how to do this. I'll explain it to you. So, if anybody wants to know how the bank charges all of this interest and takes 6% and turns it into 115%, I need you to put 9s in the chat. If I see at least 10 people put 9s in the chat, I will teach you how the bank is making all of this money and calling 115% 6%. So okay. I got 2 people. Come on. I got 3. I need 7 more people. And I'll even add the ones in online. Okay. I got 2 more people here online. Okay. Oh, here we come. There we go. We're going to teach you, Miss Adrian. Okay. We're getting there, Miss Shalonda. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, all right. We got enough people here. I'm going to show you how they do this, my way was more complicated, but Miss Credit Goddess showed me an easy way to do this. So we're going to go ahead, put my calculator on the screen and clear this out. Okay. How does the bank turn 6% into 115%? Okay. Now, in my mind, we're borrowing $200,000. And if we take 6% of that, 200,000, that should be the amount of interest that we pay. Well, there must be doing something else because 6% of $200,000 is not what? Of 200,000 is not 231,000. So what are they doing? This is what they're doing, folks. So we're going to take the interest rate, okay? The interest rate, which is 6%, and we're going to put 6% into our calculator, okay? And I'm going to scroll this up so everybody can see. We're going to put 6% in our calculator. That's 0.06. Okay, 0.06. We're going to put that in our calculator. All right, that's 6% interest. Now, what the bank does is divide that by 12. All right, so we divide it by 12. We're going to click on divide, and we're going to divide that by 12. That equals 0.005. That is the amount of interest that's 1/12 of the interest rate. That's the monthly amount of interest right there, 0.005. Now, what they'll do is that they'll multiply that by the month end balance. Okay, so once we pay that mortgage for the first month, we're left with $199,800.90. The bank will take this number and multiply it by $199,800. So we're going to multiply that by $199,800 And we're going to hit equals. Look at here, 999. That's how they get the interest on line 2. So it's not one mortgage at 6% of the $200,000. It's 1/12 of the interest rate multiplied by the unpaid balance every single month. So it's not one mortgage. We're actually looking at 360 separate mortgages. That's why it is so doggone expensive. But there is a weakness in the system whereby this thing makes so much money that here is the weakness in the system, everybody. This is how you get out of the matrix. Here we go. All right. I need a little. Here's how we get out of the matrix. Okay. We can save money at the same rate they're charging us. Okay. This is how we do this. And now we're going to get back. And this is where you're going to come in. All right. Ms. Belethia, so you can teach us all. All right. So now we have 190. Let's say we do this. We're in January and you make your mortgage payment. Okay. You don't owe anything else until February, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, by looking at this schedule, you can now see February's principal payment. How much is February's principal payment?
It is $200.10.
Now, based on what you know to be true, do you have to wait till February to give the bank that $200.10?
No, I don't.
If
I
you
can pay it now.
You could pay it now. So that would be in addition to your regular payment, right?
Correct.
Did you know that all $200.10 would be applied to principal if you direct the bank to do that?
Yes.
Which means you're paid down to line 2 on your schedule, correct?
Correct.
So if we subtract the $199.10 and the $200.10, all that money, so we're paid down to $199,600.80. By doing that,
correct.
Okay. Remember, anytime you see the principal balance, go to the very next line to know what to do. So our next mortgage payment for February now is on what line of the schedule?
For February?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
Okay, so remember, whenever you're on, to answer any question I give you, you want to look to the very next line. We're already paid down to line 2. So February's new payment is on what?
Line 3?
Yes! You just got rid of line 2 for only $200.10 instead of $1,200. How do you like those apples?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, now the $999 in interest that the bank was looking for line 2, what happened to that?
Disappeared.
It disappeared. That's right. You never have to pay that $999 in interest. How about that? Isn't that great?
Yes, it is.
All right. So now that you're understanding it, let's make that payment again in January. We made our January payment. If we had the money, could we then attack this loan for the principal payments of $200 on line 2, line 3, and line 4? So we're going to pay $200.10 early, $201.10, and $202.10. We're going to do all 3 of these. All right. At the same time, that's $603.30. What happens to the interest on line 2, 3, and 4?
It goes away.
About how much interest did we just save? We were rounding up.
Interest?
Yeah.
Almost, is that $3,000?
Almost $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it is.
Now, what you're going to do is help us based on what we learned, because see, if we know the basics, it doesn't matter what the interest or what the mortgage is. Do you know we have people out here, all right, who have $1 million mortgages? Okay. All right. So we're going to do, we're going to change this to 5%. Okay. And then do
How do you, can I ask a question?
Go right ahead.
How do you know what the principal that you need to pay? Is it on your mortgage statement?
Well, actually, if you're one of our clients, we have a computer program that tells you exactly what to pay for the individual.
Okay.
And if you want to know more about that, you would click on the button above my head there that says is ice10k.com. If you click on that link, there's a button that says get a savings and earnings report. With that information, you can find out the month, day, and year you could be debt free. We can introduce you to our opportunity cost calculator that does all of the math, that tells you how much money to move, what day to move it on, what month to move it in, and which loan to attack. And we use your current budget to do it. You don't need more money. We're going to show you how to disrupt the bank's timing so it makes it impossible for them to charge you all of that interest. How would you like that?
Sounds good. So it's a particular day you would do that on?
Yes, ma'am.
You just don't pay it when you pay your mortgage?
Not generally, no. You want to do it at the right time because you want to save the most amount of interest per dollar. Okay.
Gotcha.
So now there are people who kind of do this on their own. Now I can tell you this: if I had two clients, doing the same thing, all right, two clients doing the same thing, and one used the debt snowball and the other one used the P.I.L.L method, okay, to get out of debt. Now they're both getting out of debt faster, right? The person who's using the debt snowball will pay on average $50,000 to $70,000 more in interest to get out of debt, and they won't even realize that they're doing it. That's a big difference, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Over time. Any other questions?
How much is your calculator?
Okay. We do what's called a savings and earnings report. And by doing that, we come up with the pricing for each client. Okay. But guess what? We're going to figure out how much interest you don't have to pay the bank.
That's right.
And then out of that money you don't pay the bank, that's where your investment comes from. So it's money you would have paid anyway to the bank, but because you don't have to pay it, we take a small percentage of that. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So listen, folks, we are live right now online, and we are getting ready to we go live for 2 hours, but I'm going to stay in the room for just a little bit longer on Clubhouse. But we are going to let our folks go online because our engineers are looking to do just 2 hours. So here's what we're going to do, folks. If you we're going to tell you what's happening in the last couple of minutes here. If you want to know more about the P.I.L.L method, if you're online watching us, all right, and you want to know more about the P.I.L.L method, please go to ice10k.com, ice10k.com, and click on the link that says get a savings and earnings report. Not only will you can get a savings and earnings report, then we are waiving the consultation fee of $150 till midnight tonight. Also, go ahead and buy my book. It's there too. There's a link to get the book. And once you get the book, that same card you're clicking on is my digital business card. When you click on that and you buy the book today, we will also tell you how you can get your own digital business card worth $100. Miss Kenyatta, If somebody buys my book today, how are they going to get their own digital business card, the 10K card? Oh, she's on the phone. All right. Here's how you do it, folks. What you're going to do is this. You're going to, there's a button on that same card. I think it's number 3. You will screenshot your receipt. Follow the directions on that number 3 that says, here's what you do to get your digital business card. Follow all the directions and upload that receipt. Once you upload that receipt and follow all the directions, we will send out your digital business card to you from the 10K card company owned by Mr. Sean Lashley. All right, folks, I want to thank you so very much. And for all of you that are watching this, remember to get your code, your coupon code is ICE100. ICE. It stands for Interest Cancellation Expert, ICE 100. Put that in, who referred you, and then that coupon code will save you $150 when you submit your savings and earnings report. You can know the month, day, and year you're debt free and how much interest you can save. Our last word for those who are online is going to come from Dr. Eric Thomas, who uses this exact same program to pay off his mortgage in 4 years. All right, goodbye, everybody online. All right, all of you folks on Clubhouse, we'll be right back after this.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down from my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.